Let's journey back to the Gnostic story of creation and dive into a very important aspect of what makes us human. The fall of Sophia represents a critical juncture in underscoring both our strengths and our vulnerabilities. It's a stark representation of what it means to be human, and it also reveals the inner workings of a part of us we often ignore. Sophia symbolizes the heart and all the energies that encompass it. She symbolizes emotion, abstraction, resonance, sacredness, and a general symbiosis with the soul. In this story, she saw no boundaries, no limits, and was projecting herself into a space that's hospitable to the purest and most profound manifestation of what the heart is and can be. In the Gnostic story of creation, Sophia was traversing this boundless trajectory when she gave birth to Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth was her antithesis. He represented boundaries, consequence, reason, structure, and all else Sophia could not realize. Yaldabaoth imposed himself upon her and unleashed all she could not decode. From Yaldabaoth's vantage point, Sophia was a threat. She was a threat to him and needed to be defeated. She fell, and her fall represented the creation of the material world in which we are currently existing and operating within. I call this the physical earth realm. The physical earth realm is Yaldabaoth's creation. Both Sophia and Yaldabaoth are within us. Simply put, Sophia is our heart, while Yaldabaoth is our mind. We consciously exist in the physical earth realm, which is Yaldabaoth's turf. As you're watching this video, you are doing so in the physical earth realm. Your perceptive mechanisms here and now are decoding a physical reality. Decoding is the operative term here. We translate data or extract meaning from words and symbols. Those are functions of the mind and not of the heart. Remember, we are operating within a reality that largely relies on language for expression. Language is a product of the material world. Words contain symbols, and symbols translate into mathematical expressions that are decoded by the mind. The mind is a computer. When we feel and emote, it's the heart at play. When we describe our feelings and emotions using language, it is our mind at play. We can't quite capture the true essence of the heart with language, and there is no mathematical equation for love. Since Yaldabaoth is the grand architect of the material world, he has every intention of keeping it intact. In fact, he's struggling quite hard to preserve it at the moment, as our vibratory consciousness is shifting toward the heart, and it's giving him a pretty big headache. He is struggling and pulling out every weapon in his arsenal to defend his turf. Yaldabaoth has indeed turned this into a battle. I believe Sophia's fall occurred with good intentions. It was a process through which balances were created. Her boundless potential needed to be honed in order for us to grow by learning about limits, consequence, and calculation. Perhaps we can think of Yaldabaoth and the physical earth realm he has created as a life jacket of sorts. It is there to protect us and give us a chance to be the agents of our own survival in very, very rough waters. He's taught us to appreciate adversity and see it for what it is. It's an opportunity to come out stronger. But bear in mind that we are still on his turf. As our vibratory consciousness shifts toward the heart, We come to understand the heart through this lens that is somewhat incompatible with the heart. We describe the heart using language. We decode its existence and its role using tools that are not exactly cut out for it. Yaldabaoth knows this. He knows our limits in this realm, and what we are seeing going on around us is one of his last-ditch efforts to keep us subservient to the mind, to keep us in this realm and perpetually entrenched in the karmic cycle. When we try to realize the heart using the mind, which is a mechanism that's not really intended for it, we end up realizing the heart on the mind's terms. Enslavement is most effective when there's a perception of freedom. Yaldabaoth knows this. When the mind decodes the heart, it is his opportunity to step into his role as the demiurge and provide all the reference points necessary in order for one to keep it within the mind. It is up to us to see those reference points for what they are and make a decision as to whether we want to set them aside. Getting to a point where we develop the perspective to see what is happening is probably one of the most difficult parts of this journey. There's no doubt what we are attempting to decode as being heart-driven is affected by the tools we use to decode, and the tools at our disposal are not well suited to decode the heart. Is it not time to see the tools for what they are? Or better stated, are we able to see the mind for what it is? When we are using the mind to experience energies of the heart and are using language as a tool to express it, we feel comfort to the extent possible here. Is there a reason behind our comfort? It's tempting to say the heart-based energies are comforting by their very existence. The answer to this lies in the conundrum itself. If Yaldabaoth creates the tools for one to use to decode something that it isn't meant to decode, can those tools be appropriated to give someone the perception that what they are experiencing is the heart? Absolutely. This is where enslavement takes on the shape and form of freedom. Sophia will never hurt us. Sophia will never cause us to inflict pain on others. If you find yourself in a position where your perception of heart energy results in your ability to project pain, adversity, or harm upon others, be assured it is not the heart. Sophia will never inflict pain, but Yaldabaoth will. This is Yaldabaoth at work under the cover of Sophia. That's all for now. Be well, sun gaze, and thrive selflessly.